Hey everybody, I'm Matt Weafer, Executive Chef at the Campbell Club here in downtown Owensboro. Thanks for joining me in the kitchen on Hometown TV. Today we're going to make a lobster and cilantro pasta. We use angel hair pasta, some cherry tomatoes, fresh cilantro, and lobster meat. We've got lobster claw meat and tail meat too. We went ahead and pulled it out and chopped it up. And I also have a lobster broth that we make. We take the bodies, we simmer that down for about an hour to 2 hours with tomatoes, onions, celery, all that fun stuff. And we let that go, really intensifies and pulls out the lobster flavor, and that's where most of the flavor of this dish comes from. What we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and start with a hot saute pan over here. Just a little bit of clarified butter. Go in with our onions. Doesn't take much. Let that go, break down and get translucent. Not trying to caramelize them too much, just want to break down the flavor and really kind of wake it up, cut out some of the tartness from raw onion. And we have our angel hair pasta. This is just finished. The angel hair cooks really quickly, and I like to cook this to order every time because, for one thing, it overcooks quickly, but also because the starches in the water are really important to a good pasta sauce. Because I'm going to add some of that pasta water back into the pan here. That's going to help thicken the sauce a little bit. It's going to help the sauce adhere to the pasta, and it's going to help the flavor just intensify and stick around. All right. You see we're getting a little bit of color on our onions. Like I said, it doesn't take very long. I'm going to add a little bit of unsalted butter to this too because I like the creaminess of it. Since I'm not cooking this at such a high heat, it's not going to brown it as quickly, which is what I want. I just want to kind of wake the flavors up in all this. Garlic. Just 30 seconds or so, and that raw garlic just flavor, the aroma just bursts out of the pan there. I'm going to turn this down, add some white wine. I'll let that simmer and reduce for a minute. And while that's doing its thing, I've got some cherry tomatoes over here. I'm going to slice these up. I'm going to throw these into the white wine. This is going to add acidity to the dish. It's also going to add a little bit of sweetness and just good flavor. I love cherry tomatoes, especially in the winter and the springtime, because they ripen a little bit more quickly, unlike some of the big beefsteak tomatoes or something like that they sell at the grocery store. These still have good flavor, good sweetness without, even though it's winter time. Okay, that's good. Just going to go straight into the pan. Try to cut them pretty thin, so that way the skins will still break down. Turn the heat back up. Anytime you add wine to a pan, you always want to try to reduce it at least by half. That'll intensify the flavor, it'll cook out the alcohol, make it a little bit sweeter, and just enhance the dish really well. Go ahead and add some salt and pepper. I like to reduce the wine before I add any other liquid to the pan. That way, number one, I know it's reduced as far as I want it to, and the sugars caramelize a little bit better when they're in there by themselves, I believe. Let that go for a little bit. You can see the garlic in the pan. It's just floating everywhere. It's going to have a ton of garlic flavor in this, and it's not super brown, so it's still going to be nice and strong. Really wake up the dish. All right. The thing I love the most about lobster is how sweet it is, just naturally sweet, and it pairs really well with just about anything. I'm going to finish this off with some bright cilantro at the end, and it just is a nice grassy, sweet flavor. All right, this is our lobster broth. Doesn't take a whole lot. Like I said, the lobster's shells and the stalks and the bodies, that's where all the flavor of this dish is going to come from. It's got some lobster meat in there, and that, of course, has flavor, but by using the lobster broth, the pasta is going to taste like lobster, the tomatoes are going to taste like lobster. It's just, I can already smell it. It's awesome. I'm going to go ahead and add our angel hair to it. I cooked this kind of al dente. I didn't want it cooked all the way through. It's still, or actually, this is a little bit below al dente. That's why it's still got a little bit of crunch in it right now, because as it cooks in this sauce, it's going to finish cooking. It's going to cook all the way instead of being overcooked. Toss this around. Like I said, I've got our pasta water here that I set some off to the side. I'm going to add that to it too, and those starches are just going to enhance the sauce texture and flavor, and it's going to help it cling to the pasta. Now we're going to go in with the lobster. What we do is we take the whole lobster and we, submerge it in water, go ahead and break it down, and we separate the parts out, so that way we have the meat and we can cook it quickly and it's ready to go. Messing with lobster is kind of time consuming and tedious, so if you don't have a whole lot of time, this makes it a little bit easier. Just do it ahead of time. and you just warm the lobster up gently. That's why I threw it in here at the end, because it's already cooked. Just gonna let that go and let that simmer. This is on our lunch and dinner menu right now, and we do a seasonal menu, so we're working on some spring vegetables and spring produce right now, and it's open to the public for anyone to come down and try a 2-month free membership and try our lobster dish, try our steaks, try just about anything we do. We try to make everything from scratch here, and we're a Kentucky Proud restaurant. Of course, the lobster didn't come from Kentucky, but that's not really much we can do about that. But when the cherry tomatoes are local, we buy those, and we buy our cheeses and cream and as much as we can locally. Okay. I'll let that go for just another minute. All right, and we're back. Our sauce has reduced significantly. You can see it's already clinging to the pasta. There's a little bit down here in the bowl, which I kind of like that. I like a little bit of sauce left in the bowl when you're eating pasta. I'm tossing it around here in the pan, and that's going to help the angel hair kind of loop itself over and over and over, so it makes it a little bit easier to eat. I'm going to go straight to the bowl. All our lobster on there. It's all tossed inside. Now we're going to come back with our cilantro just right on top. You don't want to cook cilantro. It changes the flavor of it. It is best just raw right on top there. Get in here with your fork and your knife and stir this around. The cilantro flavor is just going to explode, and really it's going to enhance the lobster and enhance the tomato flavor in there too. All right, there you go. There's our lobster and cilantro pasta. That's on our lunch and dinner menu right now. Come down and try out our 2-month free membership and let me cook for you. I'm Matt Weafer, Executive Chef for the Campbell Club. Thanks for joining me in the kitchen.